Hey there. This is the Secret Marketing Show, blog, podcast, whatever the heck this ends up being. And I am Kevin. My friends call me Kevin from Heaven. I am the CEO, Chief Marketing Executive, founder, owner of Stellar Box Media Marketing. It's me, right? So welcome to the Secret Marketing Show, and this show's not for you. And let me explain what I mean by that. This is for me. One, it's going to give me the understanding and the knowledge of how to do this, how to create a show, how to put it on wherever I'm going to put it on. And it's going to be a time capsule so that I can motivate myself. What better way to motivate you than to hear it from your own voice, right? So I wanted a way to capture the things that I'm learning. So this is going to be good content because this is for me. So if it's for me and I want to capture it, it's going to be good. So this is me recording this for myself to encourage me and motivate me. And if you found this, congratulations. I hope that this is valuable to you. I hope that it's impactful to you and that it changes your life. I don't know if today's going to be life changing, right? But maybe over time, being exposed to this mindsets, these thoughts will help you get to where you're going. So with that said, let's get right into it. So this is my Instagram account, and today's motivational quote that I created was, for good ideas and true innovation, you need human interaction, conflict, argument, debate, conflict. I don't know why I had trouble with that word, conflict. For good ideas and true innovation, you need human interaction, conflict, argument, debate. This really spoke to me. And I'm learning that marketing is all about relationships. It's the relationships that we have with people. It's spending time with people. It's building connections. And that's all marketing is. It's all about relationships. That's what I loved about this is one, it talks about the messiness of human interactions, right? Um, they do get messy. People say things that offend you, and I think we get to a point where we just want to shy away from any type of conflict and go in the other direction. If someone has a recommendation or a challenge to what we're providing them, we don't want to hear it, right? So I work for Cigna Health Spring as a technical coach, a trainer, and this role, I've learned so much about interacting with people, connecting with people, training adults. It's been a really huge blessing for our family. And but there's always these like times where I have to submit what I'm doing for review and analysis. We have like a compliance team, we have other team leads, and so I'll create a job aid that I spent hours on. You're looking at every single word, you're wordsmithing it, you're looking at the processes to your best understanding, you're putting it down on paper, and you have to turn around and share it. And that process of sharing, of opening yourself to exposure, like that part's hard. And I don't know if that's like what keeps us as entrepreneurs from taking the next step, but it is hard to open up yourself to allow others in and to see what you've created. Because now all of a sudden you're open to judgment, right? You're open to people giving back to you. And we see that as a bad thing. Where I was getting it at the story is there's a guy that I work with that he's not directly part of the training team, but he always questions things. So when we submitted, we're like, hey guys, here's the new job aid. He'll like speak up in the meeting and have a question about it. And inside my head, I'm thinking, oh great, here we go again. But and I'll say this. I hate it every time. Like it's like I cringe because I know it's like, okay, he's gonna question, he's gonna challenge it. I'm gonna have to go back and fix it or revise it, or I'm just like I'm I'm looking forward to like this argument, this conflict that's happening, and he'll bring up something that I didn't consider. And in the end, it's almost always good, even though it like sucks because he's pointing out a flaw or something that wasn't done right or something that the team is still having troubles with, but I wasn't aware of it. So now I have to go back to the drawing board. I have to figure out how to incorporate his feedback. Um, he does this every single time, but every single time it makes us better. So the fact that I exposed myself and allowed maybe expose is the right word. I'm not exposing myself. I opened myself up for feedback, allowed an opportunity for someone to speak into that and give honest, truthful answers that made my end product better, right? So we need to do that as businessmen, as entrepreneurs, as people who want to learn. Always go for the lesson and the learning over the failure. It's not like when you put your head and you can grasp that if I make a mistake, it's not a mistake, it's an opportunity to learn, and that becomes magical. All of a sudden, you embrace the mistakes. You're like, yeah, let's do this. Let's learn. Let's get messy because I know that out of that, I'm going to become better. And have that mindset going in that you will make mistakes, you will get it wrong, but that feedback, as much as it hurts, the more it hurts, if you embrace it, the more amazing you'll become out of it. Embrace the feedback, open yourself up, and allow it to come in. And so that's why I love this quote today. That it's we need human interaction, conflict, arguments, debate. When we look at a product, we have already our opinions on it, but when you hear someone else's outside perspective, you get new insight, right? And that's how you drive the ultimate customer experience. You're willing to have those tough conversations and willing to allow another side of that conflict to come in. All right, let's get off of that. So cool thought. The other thing, so thinking about human interactions, that marketing is all about relationships. So I've been listening to an audiobook by Jack Schaefer. I'll plug Overdrive. I don't know if you guys know of Overdrive. It connects to your library. So you don't have to even go to your library, and you can get, as long as you have a library account, you can get digital books, get audio books right on your phone. It's amazing. It's a lifesaver. Overdrive, get it, do it, done. So the like switch. This guy is a freaking, he used to work for the FBI, and he was a straight up spy, and he could turn people, like, I mean, this is like out of a fiction novel. He can turn people from other countries into informants. So like, this is really interesting. Like, how do you get someone who's your enemy to like you? And he actually put it into a formula. So thinking about marketing is all about relationships. When a company and a business can personalize themselves and interact on a personal level with their customers, they can win loyal fans for life. This is where you get your huge net promoter score. If you don't know what net promoter score is, that's fine. I know what it is. And again, this is for me, so you can go Google it. But you get fans. You get people who love you, who speak about your product. So here's how you do it. And in my mind's thinking, how do I do this with marketing? How do I build relationships, meaningful, impactful relationships within marketing? So here's the friendship formula. He said it equals proximity plus frequency plus duration plus intensity. So what does all this stuff mean, right? Proximity, that's just being in the same vicinity, bringing familiarity, takes place in a non-threatening environment. Just be close to someone. And this works for any relationship, not in marketing. This is a book about relationships, but I'm applying it for marketing. So proximity, just be there. That's why it's so important. Businesses, you go online, you listen to people on YouTube, and they talk about targeting businesses that are well off or have a lot of money, or if you sorry, my battery alert on my laptop actually just went off, and it's like, hey, you need to plug in your laptop or this is going to die. You're talking too much. Okay, I get your side. So proximity, be where people are. That's why social media marketing is so important. It's not all about ads. It's about having a social presence. It's about being on Twitter, being on Facebook, being on Instagram, being on YouTube, being where your customers are, and just being there, right? So proximity. Are you found when are you just around them? Help them to become familiar with you by being around. Proximity. Frequency is the number of visits over time. And you want that to gradually increase. So frequency. So if you are on social media, Are you on there frequently? Are they able to see you around? Are they seeing you around town? Do you they get emails from you? Are you constantly talking to them? Away from marketing, just thinking about a human interaction. This is, thinking about the dating cycle when you're meeting someone for the first time. First it starts by you just being near them. Maybe you went to the same event. Maybe you go to the same school. Just maybe you're in a group together of some sort. So that's the proximity, and then we over and over again. That's why you're in the same class as somebody. You develop a crush on somebody. You're working with them in projects. It's because of the frequency of those interactions, how often you're with them. Duration is how long those interactions happen. So not just how often, but when you are with them, how longer, how much of that time are you with them? That's why videos are so important on social media, because it increases the amount of time someone spends with you. I'll say that again. Videos are so important because it expands the amount of time people spend with you. And this is why, because of the likability formula. And the last thing is intensity. So how well are you meeting that individual's needs or desires? So this is where it's like, lead with value. Are you giving them something that makes them better? Are you giving them something that helps them in their day-to-day function? Did you give them a how-to video and show them exactly how to do something they have questions about? When you are useful, well, hey, that really helps me. This relationship means something. This is going to impact me more. So when you're developing a relationship, always give 51%. Give more, slightly more than you're getting back. All right. So thinking about relationships, gave you the friendship formula. Now looking at the customer's value journey. So I'm a big fan of Digital Marketer. I have a certification through their social and community manager certification, but they have a lot of different certifications you can get. This was one that was actually covered in one of the courses that I took, and it's gold. And this is actually what got me connecting the dots between marketing and building relationships, was this program. So this is a map of the customer journey, and every business should draw this out, like literally fill in every single box and understand the path that your customer takes. That's where you can have automatic tools in place that you can get customers on demand. So the first thing is this awareness box. Some people talk about like the sales funnel and where they are at different places of the funnel. This is very similar to that, and it's just explained in a different way. So your awareness phase, this is when people first get to know you. Thinking about the likability factor, this is proximity, right? You just want to be near them. You just want them to see you. And awareness can also play into that frequency as well. So proximity and frequency aspect. So those first two that we talked about. But how do people become aware of your business? Is it through Facebook ads? Is it through social media posts? Is it the videos that you're doing on YouTube? Maybe you have an advertisement in the newspaper. Maybe you have a weekly podcast. You need to know how people interact with you and become aware, just aware that you even exist as a company. So this is non-threatening. Just say, hey, how are you? Have a nice day. Not anything in depth, but just be aware. Engagement is like, let's have a conversation. I posted something on Twitter, you posted something on Twitter, and as a company, I reacted to what you did, and I liked it, and I engaged in it. And then you come back and you come and look at my content, because like, who's this person liking me? And all of a sudden we're engaging with each other. We're having interactions. And it's a little bit harder for a company, an organization, to do that on an individual customer level, but that's how granular you need to get, is that you need to start getting to where your customers are and reaching them exactly where they are to have those conversations. So engagement is a little bit more down that relationship path. So awareness, we're friends. Engagement, maybe we're meeting at coffee or meeting somewhere where we all have to go already, right? So maybe we're hey, this is a friend of a friend. Oh, hey, I bumped into this person at the grocery store. Subscribe. This is an exchange. This is the first time we're actually asking them to raise their hand and say, I'm kind of interested in what you got going on. This might be an email list. This might be a free download, but they're just acknowledging that they want a little bit more. Um, And so maybe they're following you on YouTube. Maybe they followed you on Twitter or something that didn't take a big commitment, but a little bit of a like sign. Then you have the convert stage, and this is where they're either going to exchange time or money to get something. So here is maybe they clicked on an ad that led them to a webinar. And so they have actually decided to give you their time, which is very valuable. Um, and so you're getting someone who's following you a little bit more. From there, they have two possible routes. They can either go to Excite, like they actually turn into buyers and are actually buying a product, or it goes back to your Engage, in which you want to continue to build that relationship. Maybe you didn't quite sell them. So from the convert, they signed up for something, they paid for something. Maybe it was a one small intro offer. Maybe they took advantage of a freebie, but or their time. Maybe they're actually watching something that's like 30 minutes long. They're actually investing in some form or fashion in your business. Excite, the Excite path is they are a customer. They bought a product from you. This is great. You actually have someone who's interested and they've paid with their wallet. So this is where we all want. This is in sometimes these paths go really fast. And it might be a Facebook ad and it goes right from awareness all the way to subscriber, and they're pulling out their wallet and they're paying you. So this could happen in a matter of minutes. But all those points have to be hit in the customer's journey. Now on the Excite page, maybe they bought one of your products. From there, you have your value ladder, which you want to give them maybe an upsell or a downsell. Maybe you sell a higher level product. But if they like the product enough and they become a repeat buyer, that's when they start going up your value ladder. Always have an upsell, always have something more that someone can buy. That's how you scale your business. You always want a little bit bigger of an offer. As a marketer, I might start off with something minor like social media management on a single platform, and maybe we expand how many platforms we're doing. Maybe we expand to SEO. Maybe we expand to also include, Facebook ads, Google AdWords, that, or it could be bundled up. And maybe the upsell is the SEO, but either way you put it, you have to have something that you're upselling to help them go up their value ladder. From there, they can become an advocate. This means, so either they're going to go up your value ladder or they're just going to stay as a customer phase. It's a relationship, right? What happens when you don't speak to a friend for years? You forget about them. You stop interacting with them. Same thing with your relationship as a business. You have to have a reason to continue those conversations with your customers, whether it's your email marketing, maybe a social media post. Keep up with the engagement, continue to be valuable, continue to give them a reason to want to ascend. And then once they get to the advocate stage, they are actively telling other people about you. They are excited, super excited about the value that you've given them. They might come down and just be a regular buyer and continue to kind of go down that trail. Or, this is like commitment. They're married to you at this point. So if we're thinking about relationships, excite. This is where we're going on a couple dates. Ascend, they're buying higher level products. Like this is full scale marriage we're looking at, that they are invested in you. They love who you are. And that's where they become a promoter, where now they're actually getting other people to start that journey. They're the ones who are initiating awareness for other people to begin their own journey with us. And that's ultimately where you want every customer to be, is that they're so excited about you. They're so committed to the relationship and the value that you're giving them as a business. They're bringing other people to you. So, to me, the thing that really opened my eyes about all of this was that it's all about human interactions. Even though we live on a digital age, even though we're on social media and we're behind a screen, at the end of the day, it's about connecting with other human beings. So I hope this was valuable to you. I know that I'm going to probably watch this at some point later down the road. Congratulations again on fighting the My Secret Marketer show, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.